ColORCHESTRA is back.
Our new season of auditions for classical musicians is now available. Performance opportunities for students, young professionals, and seasoned artists.
Perform a concerto with orchestras around the world. We have 4 orchestras this season. Perform with orchestras throughout the US, Czechia, and Egypt. New this season, opportunities for composers to have their orchestral works recorded by the Boulder Symphony Orchestra, mastered and distributed on the world's most known music streaming platforms.
Audition live from the comfort of your own home. Get live evaluations from expert judges and expand your online presence through our international internet broadcasts. Additional award and performance opportunities are also available. Visit our website for full details. Don't miss out on these wonderful opportunities to advance as a musician and perform on a world-renowned stage. We look forward to hearing your performances.
Good day, everyone, and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall Music Programs. Thank you for joining us today for the very exciting marathon of auditions. Our channel is dedicated to bringing live music and performances and events from musicians from around the entire globe. I'm Anna Ospinska in DC Suburb. I'll be your host today for this session of the auditions. We are presenting musicians who are auditioning to perform with orchestras around the world. These are extraordinary ensembles which joined ColORCHESTRA project since last season. Last season we had Western New York Chamber Orchestra joining this project, and now we also have Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic from Czech Republic, Boulder Symphony, and Cairo Opera Orchestra, all adding their resources and their energy to this project and inviting artists to audition for the spot of being featured soloists with their orchestras. The goals of these auditions is to encourage, to nurture, and to reward musicians who are taking a very proactive stand about sharing their art and developing their careers. Together, we are providing opportunities for musicians to discover their unique artistic voice, take their initiative, to present themselves on their own terms, to choose their own repertoire, and eventually to cover their own unique career paths. So let's take a quick look at what's happening in the next 4 days. We have many sessions planned and scheduled. There will be sessions dedicated to musicians who are applying to perform with the Bohuslav Martinu Orchestra in Czech Republic, and that concert is already scheduled. We already know the dates for the rehearsals with the orchestra. It's very exciting. This concert will be conducted by Georg Sargsyan, who will be joining us, our panel of judges for these auditions. He was here in the previous session, number 1. And this session will be dedicated to musicians who are applying to perform as soloists with the Western New York Chamber Orchestra. And again, that concert is already scheduled. The rehearsals are scheduled. You can see on our websites all the dates, and this concert will be conducted by Glenn Cortese, and we'll have musicians from the orchestra, from the Musicians Union, from Fredonia joining us as members of the judges panel, and today we'll have the director of the orchestra as well joining us for the judges panel. Now, the judges on the panel are sharing their comments with musicians right after the performance, and we have the opportunity for artists to ask questions and to interact with the judges and to find out the immediate feedback, not wait for written comments forever, but to find out right away what impression they make and what they can do to further their effectiveness, their artistic impact. And as you can see, there's also portraits of the musicians who applied for those auditions and who were selected through a very rigorous selection process of the pre-screening when they had to send their materials and recordings. And we also will have next weekend auditions dedicated to the musicians who applied to perform with the Cairo Opera Orchestra, and that concert is scheduled in the Cairo Opera venue also this season. And a little bit later down the road in the season, we'll have the auditions dedicated to the musicians who apply to perform with the Boulder Symphony. Now, these are spectacular ensembles. Each of them has their own unique shape, and the group of musicians who are part of those orchestras, and each of those orchestras are performing in their absolutely spectacular home venues. And these concerts stay with us throughout the season, because these concerts will also be broadcast throughout all of the platforms where you can see our programs. The soloists who are chosen through those auditions will be featured in those concerts, and there will be interviews with them and with the conductors and organizers. You will find out a lot of behind the scenes and following those artists throughout the journey to those wonderful stages you see on the screen. The ColORCHESTRA auditions are organized by ArtistVenture, Sound Espressivo competition, progressive musicians, and virtual concert halls in collaboration with, as I mentioned, Western New York Chamber Orchestra, Bohuslav Martinu Philharmonic, Cairo Opera Orchestra, Boulder Symphony Orchestra, and with the tremendous support of many, many organizations around the world. You see on the screen, there's so many logos of companies and organizations in the United States, Canada, in Europe, many countries from Europe and Asia and South America. We have music-dedicated companies and people joining this momentum, this movement, to open the doors of greatest halls and open the possibilities to perform with these wonderful orchestras to everyone who feels that they are ready for the challenge. And we are really, really grateful for this tremendous support which we are receiving from companies that are dedicated to music promotion, to music management, to educational music platforms, streaming platforms, academic platforms, and schools, universities. It's just to name a few. So we are very, very thankful for all this energy and resources which they are adding to our effort. Auditionees from many, many countries are seeking guidance from the judges today, and through the comments which the judges will provide, they seek more growth and more brilliant and bright future for their art. So the Sound Espressivo Global Competition is one of the primary organizers of this event, and it's an online live streaming competition combining competitive environment with the live performance experience, with connecting artists on virtual stage in one event from different locations. Progressive Musicians is the company which is organizing many competitive and other events, including concerts in prestigious venues like Carnegie Hall. Virtual Concert Halls is the internet TV broadcast providing artists with a virtual stage and the whole system to learn and to be able to join the virtual stages and to reach audiences beyond the walls of conventional concert halls. ArtistVenture is an organization which is focused on providing performance opportunities for musicians in Europe, Asia, and beyond. They are organizing tours in various countries in prestigious concert halls, as well as masterclasses, festivals, and seminars.
No matter where you are or who you are, music connects us all. We started with a dream, but now we are paving the future. Welcome to the Sound Espressivo Global Competition. Fully virtual, yet bringing musicians closer together than ever before, now on a global scale. True live, inclusivity, diversity, connection, community, an extraordinary array of judges. Get noticed by companies all over the world. Prizes, scholarships, performance opportunities. Apply to be a part of the most exciting congregation of artists like nothing you've ever seen before. We guarantee quality and leave no musician behind. We can't wait to hear you on the virtual stage.
And the virtual stage is almost ready. I just want to mention a few more things which are part of the seasons which we provide and organize together with our collaborators. In addition to opportunities to perform with these fabulous orchestras and these world-renowned conductors, this season musicians are also being selected to receive season awards. Those awards are sponsored and provided by organizations from different parts of the world. Some of them are, like what you see on the screen, sponsored by Cicerone Music and Arts, is an opportunity for artists to record, master, publish, and distribute a new album. And people are being selected for those. There's 3 of those awards. What you see right now is James Adler sponsored and Adler Oaks Music Library sponsored award for the audience favorite position. And this award, for instance, is encouraging musicians to reach out, to connect, and to foster relationships with their support groups. There are awards which provide full scholarships to attend various festivals and other growth oriented programs. There are awards for all ages and all stages of artists, for students as well as seasoned professionals, and there are some monetary awards, and there is a lot of awards which are aimed at furthering everyone's career. Why do we need career? Because great artists who have so much to say, so much joy to bring to people in the world, we need the stage. We need all attention to what we can do, because then everyone can benefit from the great art of music. And now I would like to introduce the judges who are joining us today for this session. Thank you, our wonderful judges. We'll have Joanna Moffett. She's an American soprano. She's currently located in Chicago, where she leads her own opera company. She is a seasoned and very well-known opera singer, soloing in various roles from Puccini to Mozart. She is a founder of the co-production company, which is aiming to foster and further more the opera art. Thank you, Joanna, for joining us. It's a great pleasure to have you.
I'm so glad to be here this afternoon. Thank you.
It looks like you're cold. It's snowing.
It's
You're
so
snowed
cold
in.
in Chicago.
Oh my gosh.
I think our high is 12 degrees Fahrenheit today.
Oh my gosh, we're snowed in Washington, D.C. I'm afraid I'm going to lose power throughout this podcast, but maybe not yet. And we also have Lisa Lyman joining us. She's also a fabulous soprano. She's an executive director of Western New York Chamber Orchestra. She's very accomplished operatic soprano, voice teacher, acting coach, and her work within the operatic realm spans nearly 30 years and counting. And we are so proud and so grateful to have you joining us. Thank you, Lisa. We can't hear you. Something happened to the sound. Okay, we will get that sound working. And I'm just going to mention that Lisa's operatic repertoire includes the works of just about every most impossible roles of soprano on stage. Puccini, Verdi, Bellini, Mozart, Bizet, Donizetti, and others. I don't know how the same opera singer can sing Bellini and Mozart, Puccini, Donizetti, and Bizet, but she can. So we are really grateful.
Flexibility.
Yeah, that's incredible. So thank you, both of you, and we'll be moving on to inviting this session's candidates on stage. We will start with Alexis Daichi. She's pianist from the United States. Will be presenting Beethoven's Piano Concerto No. 2 in B-flat major, Opus 19, and we will be privileged to hear first movement, Allegro con brio. Alexis, the stage is all yours.
Thank you.
Oh,
Amazing.
you got standing ovation. We're all standing beautiful, Alexis. What a great performance. And I would like to give another round of applause to your fabulous collaborative pianist. Can you please introduce your pianist?
I owe this all to the best teacher in the whole world, Dr. Kim.
Great admiration for this wonderful support you gave your student. What a great ensemble, beautiful tone and everything. Well, I'm passing the baton to the judges.
Wow. So, Alexis, I mean, you have incredible technique, and I really enjoyed your use of dynamics, especially when you were pushing and pulling the boundaries of what is possible in this piece. It really got exciting, especially in the cadenza at the end. I felt like you were on fire. It was so fun. So my challenge to you would be to find those moments that you can bring that into the rest of the movement, because that was like, it felt like the shiny part of the diamond when you were doing that. Does that make sense? It was like, oh, exciting and sparkly. I loved it. Awesome.
Hi, Alexis. Congratulations. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Great. Oh, good. Okay. I agree with Joanna wholeheartedly.
Oh, the sound disappeared again. Let's see if we can bring Lisa's sound back. Meanwhile, Alexis, I'm not a judge, so you can just scratch everything I say. But as a pianist to pianist, I want to tell you what a tremendous accomplishment for both you and your teacher to learn this concerto to such a high polish. This is one of the harder concertos, even though it's earlier, but it's much harder than number one. And that cadenza is a killer. It starts with this absolutely unplayable finger-breaking fugue, which you carried through with so much flair and confidence and such a great command of it didn't sound like you're a young musician at all. Young musicians are often focused on just delivering the text and being able to play it. You're way beyond that. You're immersed in the music, and the technique is right there on the background, supporting every impulse of your emotion in there. We can hear it. This was just absolutely incredible. Let's see if Lisa's sound can come through right now, and maybe we can hear the comments.
Are we back?
Yes, we can.
Yay. Okay, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to jinx it. Alexa, what I was saying is that I completely agree with everybody's comments. You're extraordinary. I can't believe you're 11, right? 11?
I just turned 12.
Wow. What really stood out to me, I think I really would just keep going off of what Joanna said. Your expression within the legato of dynamic is incredible. Of dynamics is just incredible. There was a moment in the first part, forgive me for not having the score in front of me to give you measure number, and it was a repeated bump, 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 bump in both hands. And you rushed it just a teeny bit. So I think as comfortable and as mature as that cadenza was, I would challenge you to find that steadiness and weight in your hands. It's really, it was so good. I mean, I'm really picking, but do you know what part I'm talking about? Be careful not to rush that, go ahead and give it a little breath. It's really, it's okay, even in Beethoven, it's not, it doesn't have to be so, I hate to say academic because I'm an academic, but there's an expression there for you, that you can take a breath in your body between them, or something. I mean, I'm a singer, so we live on the breath. But really, anyway, extraordinary playing. Congratulations, and to your teacher as well. Really fine work.
Yeah, playing like this by someone who is not even 12 represents an extraordinary communication between the student and the teacher, and extraordinary sync. We can feel that going between the two of you when you're playing. Playing with your own teacher, for me, when I was growing up, was one of the most nerve-wracking thing ever imaginable. I'd rather play in a big hall in front of 1,000 people than play with my teacher. But you both are so in sync and so devoted to the music and so harmoniously together. That's a really remarkable achievement. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Okay, bravo. So if you have any questions, please, now is the moment.
Thank you so much, Alexis. This is really beautiful.
Thank you.
Very extraordinary, really. Bravo.
Yeah.
Bravi
Wonderful.
tutti.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we will regretfully say goodbye to Alexis and her fabulous teacher, and we will be inviting on stage the next candidate for a spotlight opportunity to be featured soloist with Western New York Chamber Orchestra. We will be inviting on stage Alina Cherkasova, a singer, voice from Ukraine, and she will be singing Puccini O mio bambino caro from Janiskiki. So the stage is all yours. We are your fans. Wow, beautiful. That's one of my favorite arias. So wonderful to hear it on those auditions. Passing on to our judges.
Oh, me first. Okay. Congratulations, Anna. That was so beautiful. And you are so beautiful. You look amazing. And you sound great. I wonder if you're singing a little bit for the room you're in. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
There were a few times when I felt like your breath was just, I mean, of course, I would imagine you're a little nervous. That's totally normal. All of those things. Um, huh. Somebody's doorbell. Is that you? That's funny. But I would challenge you now as you're working through these things. And obviously, it's not ideal to have to sing with a recording. It's great that you can, but it doesn't allow you a lot of breath freedom.
It is.
But try to not think about the room you're in. You know, you're not training to sing in a room that size. You're training to sing in the great stages of the world.
Yeah.
And that's so important with your air and the habit of how you breathe in those moments, so that when you get to go to those great halls in the world and sing and audition and all those things, you don't have to readjust. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, especially with a big voice, you have a big, beautiful tone, incredible sound. I get the sense that sometimes you're pulling back a bit from it. And in Puccini, you just have to go and trust that sort of forwardness and bigness is okay. Yes, of course, she's supposed to be a young girl and all of those things, but it's still O mio papino caro. I mean, it's just, the whole world loves that aria. So, but really beautiful singing. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, Alina, I remember you from last year, and your voice has really blossomed. It's really, really beautiful. The tone is still gorgeous, of course, like it was always beautiful. But you have such it's much more open and full than it was before. And I really appreciate that. And I would second what Lisa says, just continue singing, thinking bigger for Puccini. This aria can be played many different ways. And I would next time love to see more of what you think of what the character is going through, or more of what, even if it's in the moment, just thinking like, okay, in this phrase, I'm going to choose happiness. And in this phrase, I'm going to choose sadness, or whatever, just something a little bit more, with more depth, for the character. And then, there were a couple of moments where I think it was breath related, where you had some double consonants that aren't double consonants, and then and the opposite. And so I would revisit that as you're working through this piece. Do you have a pianist that you work with regularly that maybe could make a recording for you of this track that feels more true to what you want to do expressively? Because I feel like that would help you get more of the character across, not fix the little itty bitty issues with the language when it's breath related. So that would be my big suggestion. But brava, like sincerely, I really love your sound. It's so beautiful. I can't wait to see how it continues to develop. Yeah, you just have this like beautiful look about you, and I want to hear you like fit those two things together. I don't know if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head.
Seriously, you look like a mermaid, like your hair and it's just like oh a singer. Wow, yeah. And that's a great thing, right? I would echo, Joanne, if you don't mind me jumping in, about the character work, right? She's a funny girl. She's very spoiled.
Yeah.
But sincere, right? She's a daddy's girl. Nothing wrong with that. But she's very impassioned about this. I'm going to throw myself in the Arno. And I think it's okay to look at what the stakes are, emotional, acting, what the stakes are in this piece. Oh mio bambino caro, oh my little daddy, this is what I want. And then you realize that the only way he's going to give it to you is if you threaten him in a way. Very Puccini-esque. Subjugated women, it's what happens all throughout Puccini, So, you're forced to use your wiles. Look at Butterfly. I mean, come on. So I would really, I agree, though, that I think if you had your own track, that's a great idea, Joanna. It would help you keep working to dig into that air and that connection of the air. The air is a part of the music. It's a part of the expression. It's not just fuel. It is fuel, but it's not just that. It's connected. The breath, the way you take the breath for each character is also part of the expression.
Yeah, and Puccini is really explicit about what he wants theatrically, and you can tie those two things together. The breath, the breath will come naturally if you're thinking about the character, and vice versa. The character will come naturally if you're looking carefully at Puccini's, but within the scope of what you want to do as a performer musically, not what that orchestra decided for you.
Right.
But really, again, Alina, your sound is so beautiful, and this piece really showcases that. So I would say continue to work on it and continue to pull all these character things out. I'm so excited to see where you go with this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Alina, if you have any questions, if there's anything you would like to talk to the judges about, now is the moment.
I'm just so excited and so thankful for your comments, and I will work definitely for accompaniment with pianist. It will definitely, I think, help me. Not orchestra, slow orchestra.
Hey, we've all been there. It's okay.
It's remarkable that you can sing this kind of aria, which requires so much freedom and so much rubato with the pre-recorded track, and not sound. You didn't, at least to me. I mean, the singers. Experts will tell you more about it, but to me, it didn't sound like it restricted you at all. It sounded, well, maybe you were working against the wind. That's possible, but it sounded as though wow, you're singing with the orchestra, but no, it's a track, it's a can, it's not moving. You can't move it, but you are moving around the beats of that orchestra remarkably. For me, that's a skill which is very hard to attain, because even when you're singing with a living orchestra, with a live orchestra, it doesn't always come completely in sync. It doesn't always have to be completely in sync. So there's a little bit of what jazz musicians do, a little bit of a swing and sway of the beats. You're stretching them. You go. That to me was a remarkable point in your performance.
Yeah, and to Anna's point, it shows your great musicianship. That's awesome.
Thank you so much. I tried my best.
Alina, can I ask what other repertoire you're working on?
So,
if we have time, I'm sorry. Is that okay?
Yes, please, of course.
Okay, good.
I've been working on Chio-san, Mimi, Liu, Tosca. Yes,
only a little bit of stuff.
Can I suggest
Yes.
I don't know how old you are, and it's not. That's not an issue for me at all. Is your age? Is that do you know who I mean by Morella Freni? The great.
Yes, Mirella
Italian.
Freni.
Yeah, I would really do a little research online if you can, and really listen to early Freni repertoire.
Yes.
I think she had such balance in so many different not genres of music, but timings, historic composers, different times, in music history, where she's still singing with the same technique, but she's singing Mozart, like we were talking about earlier, Anna, Mozart, and she sang like Baroque music and early Mozart, like there's many of them of that golden age of singing, but I think Morella in particular, you remind me of her, just your look and that sound that's in the legato that's coming, but just a little tiny word of caution: watch out for Tosca and Chocho-san, just maybe until you have a good Mimi under your belt. And I don't mean just the arias, and maybe Liu too, if you have the opportunity to do either of those roles, in particular Mimi, because your middle voice is really lovely, and it's where the meat of Puccini's heroines live, but they have to have the spectacular arc and the spectacular heights. And Tosca is like the culmination. Tosca and Turandot, of course. Just don't go too fast into that, the bigger things, because when they're with orchestra, it's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't mean orchestra out of your recorder, I mean, like it's astonishing how much energy. That's why I think it's important for you now to really don't worry about the room. Don't worry about, making it fit into our little headset, right? Don't worry about it. The sound technicians know what they're doing these days. They can fix it. So, yeah, does that make sense?
I do appreciate this is very important
Okay, good.
compliment for me.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Thank you, Alina.
Thank you, Alina, for bringing this gorgeous
Thank you
singing
so
and your
much
wonderful
for
presence,
your
stage
time.
presence. Yep, bravo. Wonderful. And this concludes the second session for the ColORCHESTRA Auditions. Musicians, I'm reminding musicians are applying and performing these auditions with the goal of winning a spotlight opportunity to be featured as soloists with 4 remarkable symphony orchestras around the world. And I would like to bring the judges again on screen, please, to say many, many thanks for joining us today. Gianna, Lisa, thank you so much for your invaluable input and for your time and for your support of musicians who are going through very nerve-wracking process of auditioning live, and on top of it, online, on the broadcast, knowing that we are being seen by hundreds of people. This is a tremendous pressure for everyone who is participating, and you're so supportive, you're so knowledgeable, and you're sharing such great comments and such wonderful outlooks on what else musicians can do to keep moving and keep growing forward. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wonderful, and we'll have you back. So whatever your weather is, I hope you stay warm and stay safe and keep the power on. My power is still on. I'm still expecting it to go off like it did last time we had a lot of snow. So,
Oh no.
We're getting it here now.
Yes, and we'll see you more
Sorry, you guys.
on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday sessions. We have many of those sessions. So for now, we'll say goodbye temporarily to our judges.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much. And I would like to invite to join me on stage Steve Robinson, who will be also hosting some of these programs. Steve is an amazing producer of radio shows and music-related and music-dedicated programs on national radio, international radio. He's worked with some of the most remarkable artists of all times for many, many years, and we are very grateful and proud to have Steve, you join us as a co-host of these programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. It's a real pleasure to be here. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. We have a wonderful lineup tomorrow, beginning pretty early at 9, right?
Yes, very early, and you'll be on with us and introducing the orchestras, introducing the judges, and inviting musicians on stage. A little bit more pressure on all of the people who are applying to be presenting their music in front of you, and you worked with some of the most remarkable orchestras and artists and conductors, soloists, recording engineers, everything. And it'll be a very welcoming environment. Everyone, don't worry, Steve is great.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward to it. Tomorrow is the opening is just a little piece, the Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto No. 2.
Very little tiny piece, 3 movements.
Rajat Chaudhary will be performing that, followed by the first movement of the Mozart Piano Concerto No. 26 with Jacqueline Liu and harp performance, and a wonderful afternoon.
Yeah, we have a remarkable lineup of artists from different countries, different instruments, and some people bring interesting repertoire too, because there's no limit to the repertoire. Musicians choose their own pieces within the framework which was set by the orchestras.
And do I see brother and sister performing at tomorrow afternoon, the Bach Concerto for 2 violins? It says Eric and Sophia Jens. Are they related?
Yes, this is siblings. And they managed not to bite each other's heads off and form a great ensemble. That's an achievement in its own.
And the entire Beethoven Violin Concerto coming up tomorrow afternoon with Dina Nestorenko. So it's a wonderful day in the offing, and we hope everybody will join us.
Yes, hope everyone will join us again, and please visit our websites. Please visit our channels. We are on 50 plus channels simultaneously live. We stream on many platforms, on all the standard platforms. Visit our websites. You can see them below. You can click on those websites and visit them anytime. There's a lot of more events coming up. These auditions are huge, of course. There's 60 plus people performing in the next 4 days. And as you can see on the screen, we are streaming on all the standard platforms. You can just visit us there. Please engage with us. Please leave your comments. We would like to hear from you. And if you're interested in joining our events, please send us a message or apply. We have competitive events, auditions. We also invite guests to be part of our Music and Musicians from Around the World daily show. We also produce music films, and Steve Robinson was part of one of the most remarkable productions of our team, the music films dedicated to Magnificent Nine, Beethoven symphonies. Those are narrations by Lawrence Frapchak, and you'll hear a little snippet preview. If you haven't seen any of those programs, please join us on Thursdays at 2 p.m. or Sundays at noon every week. We are exploring a small chapter of each of those films. Those are in the making for over 3 years. The films were produced, and it's a beautiful, remarkable production. And if you lived in Chicago and visited the orchestra concerts, you went to Chicago Symphony, you heard that magical voice of Lawrence Frapchak. But if you didn't live in Chicago, you didn't get that privilege. But now you can. Let's hear a little snippet of that.
It is terse, it is compact. Its dynamic energy is concentrated into a mere 9.5 minutes of music, the shortest opening movement of Beethoven's 9 symphonies. And it's all the more stunning because of the bold, unprecedented way in which it begins. Known to practically every living being on Earth, it's that powerful. It is terse, it is compact. Its dynamic energy is concentrated into a mere 9.5 minutes of music, the shortest opening movement of Beethoven's 9 symphonies. And it's all the more stunning because of the bold, unprecedented way in which it begins. Known to practice.
It was so good you played it twice.
Yeah, I think we need to hear it twice just to absorb, because Lawrence goes through every word in his lecture is like a golden nugget, but he goes through it with so much charm and humor and ease and pace. His pace is so quick. I want to hear it more than twice, 20,000 times.
We should tell people that the first 7 symphonies have all been analyzed by Lawrence in a very entertaining, we think, fast-paced way. And they're available on our YouTube site at The Architects of Music. If you go to YouTube and just put in you'll see about 25 videos. The first 7 Beethoven symphonies and analysis of Mozart symphonies, Haydn, and his most recent additions, the composer Franz Schmidt, a name not known to everybody, but Larry loves Franz Schmidt, and you'll see it in those 2 videos. And we've just received funding to complete the 9, so they'll be ready a little later this year.
By the time we get to them, they will be ready. As I said, we are presenting small portions of it so that you can really enjoy each golden nugget.
And we should mention that the virtual concert hall team, I take care of the audio, but the virtual concert hall team has done the movies. It's the Euro videos.
Yes, and I'm very proud of our team. You can see on screen the names of wonderful members of our virtual controls team. These are musicians, presenters, and videographers and designers. These films were created together with Architects of Music. Our role was the visualization part of it, which we put on top of the audio,
Right.
which was created by Lawrence Rapchik and you. So it's a remarkable collaborative
And the
effort.
entire Fifth Symphony is there. I know you also have you have excerpts of the Fifth, but they're all there, all complete. And Larry has a way of breaking the pieces down. We call it the Architects of Music, to show how these masterpieces were built, how they're constructed, and the composers have little tricks that they use. And Larry gets behind the scenes and takes you really into the composer's thinking. They're not autobiographical. You won't find out much about Beethoven's personal life, but
People can Google.
It's all about the music.
Exactly. And just the information, people can Google it. What you get from Larry's lectures is an insight of someone who is a pianist and a conductor and a composer. And the composer's outlook into the architecture of the piece is the one of a creator. So he's going, like peeling off the onion deeper and deeper and discovering the inner workings and the plans which Beethoven had for each symphony. It's remarkable.
He'll also show you in the Beethoven Fifth a work that was written, I think, 10 years before by a French composer. And the resemblance to the Beethoven Fifth is very remarkable. So maybe Beethoven copied a little bit from somebody else, which is fine.
Which is fine, yeah. And Larry also finds some really interesting facts of Beethoven's biography, which are very telling and something we can learn from the great composer. I don't want to give out too much. Go and watch. You will not regret. That'll be the time well spent.
Architects of Music.
Architects of Music on YouTube channel, and you can find also the Architects of Music website on just by Google the Architects of Music. And with this we'll be wrapping up this session. Thank you, Steve, for joining us, and we'll have you again with us tomorrow.
Okay.
Thanks a lot. So I want to say again, many thanks to all the collaborators and presenters and our supporters who work with us and who add their time, their energy, their talent, and their resources in order to provide these opportunities and organize those auditions. Again, many thanks to our wonderful team of producers, directors, musicians, composers who work on the back end, helping you perform on the virtual stage and in our virtual concert halls. And with this, we'll say goodbye, but not for very long. We'll see you in the next sessions.